Hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for joining. Good to see you all in the chat already. Yeah, Trump is always is always topping himself with the wild shit that he's saying. Um yeah, it's gonna be an interesting ride for for however long we have of it. I was looking at this story that you sent in, and this like is a thing that seems to be happening with people traveling and having their passports revoked as soon as they land. So it's not even a situation where they're not able to get on the flight. It's like they get on the flight, they spend hours on a flight for an international, travel, and then they get there and they get told that they're in possession of a stolen passport and then they're detained. This says, this travel error has caused U.S. passports to be void mid trip. What to do if it happens to you? Some American travelers say their valid passports were mistakenly flagged. Let's see. Recently posted a TikTok video detailing an experience where he said he was detained in Thailand after his passport was flagged as lost. However, Anderson said he safely had the passport in his possession. Nonetheless, Anderson said he was still back to the United States. Wow, that would suck. This was one of the most traumatizing things to happen in my and my girlfriend's lives. We are financially damaged. We are emotionally scarred. It was a terrible. That would be so. That's why all this border shit's so stupid. In a separate instance, another creator detailed a similar experience in which she said her passport was flagged as lost or stolen after landing in Rome. In that case, she said she was allowed to enter Italy and make her way to the embassy to request an emergency passport. Both creators have said that they did not receive a satisfactory answer about how something like this could have occurred. Whoops. Was trying to get rid of that ad and it popped. Spokesman said that once a passport has been reported lost or stolen, it is no longer considered valid and it cannot be used during travel. That sucks. And this is like, you know, they've been talking about revoking people's passports over dumb shit. Um, so I'm pretty sure intercept, revoke passport. I saw something about this. I would imagine it was probably at least $1,000 for that flight. Why do they always do this? With the but yeah, new bill would give Marco Rubio thought police power to revoke US passports. Rubio has allegedly sought to punish immigrants for speech. New legislation might let him do it for the US citizens. Legislation is always a word I have trouble with when it's in a sentence sometimes, depending on like what the other words around it are. But yeah, just like the student that got deported for her opinion piece. So yeah, I didn't know about that story. That's a wild one. So I guess let's just dive into the Erika Kirk thing, because I've been seeing a lot on that. There's like this new video that surfaced today of her she sent in a tape to be on like a reality show, and apparently she did that a lot. Um, and yeah, it's quite interesting. I think the situation is really weird. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with her, and then with the whole Romania thing. The last time we talked about it, I was like, it does seem sketchy, but the fact that all the people that were saying that there was some kind of crime going on with her charity, um, they were pointing to this one guy, this military guy, and they were saying that he had charges and stuff. And I looked him up and he had an active LinkedIn and stuff, so I was like, "This doesn't seem right." So I said, "I I didn't think there was a smoking gun on that yet, that we could say that, you know, that we with confidence that could be a thing." But now this pastor that she's on tour with has actual lawsuits against him, like over 10 of them for crimes of that nature relating to charities, children's charities in Romania. So, and she's on tour with him now after he is, accused of that stuff. So that's something. That's definitely something really weird. But let's look into this just as a starter because this is interesting. This is like one of those fact check articles about a lot of the claims about her parents and her family and where she came from, and all of the claims are true. So, it's pretty funny. Wait, what was that? Oh, it was a pop-up. Sorry. Um, let's see what we got. The first one, The Mom in the NSA Leak, a publicly available PDF titled NSA Officials and Employees Docs, hosted on JAR and credit to Anonymous. Special thanks to Snowden. Oh wow. So she was on the Snowden leaks? Wow. That is pretty interesting. So she was like as an NSA employee on the Snowden leaks. Publicly verifiable facts. Frenzy family home. That was her Franze, I guess. Lauren, known alias for Erica's mom, Lori Abbas, appears in the white pages. I Met Labs, officially I Met Laboratories, a DBA, doing business as for AZ Tech International. So this is like a defense tech company. Yeah. With DHS and Department of Defense contracts. Alias overload. Public records reveal a notable array of name variations for Lori, including, and it has like 10 names listed. No, totaling at least 7 distinct aliases, with up to 11 when including spelling variations. These are tied to Scottsdale and Fountain Hills addresses. So what's going on there? Like, why? Yeah, question. Why is Erica's mom, Lori, listed in an NSA file, and why does she have so many known aliases with 2 businesses connected to the Department of Defense? That is insane. Um, the Invisible Grandparents. A public genealogy site lists Lori Abbas's parents as Joseph Anthony Abbas and Angeline Maria Karesica. No photos, no mentions in Erica's interviews or social media. Why was Erica ever highlighted? Why has she never highlighted? I don't think that's a big deal. Why has she never talked about her grandparents? Yeah, that's not that big of a deal. A single video shared by Erica on Facebook captures a touching moment. Her grandparents alongside what the caption reads, "What was it like to lose them?" That's weird. I don't know the significance of that. Could this be Kent frenzy? If so, huh? No, I'm not sure what the significance is there. Let's see what we got else. There were a couple of really interesting things in here though. Overview of some. What's this? Claim one, Erika Kirk's. Okay, so now we're getting into the claims. This is the good part. All right, this one we all know. Claim two, Erica's mother listed an NSA file. That one is confirmed. Claim three, multiple aliases and defense tech career. Let's see. Why are there so many ads? Where's the other one? I'm not seeing the Oh, okay, here we go. Now, Erica's father, Kent Frenzy, and the 2000 2016 video. Kent appears in a 2016 video, but has almost no online presence despite defense ties. He serves as the program research director at AZ Tech International, focused on defense project analysis. So, like, she's moving all over the place as like a young adult, like Romania, China, all these places involved with these weird businesses. Um, she was in some CIA video, like some kind of training video. Um, yeah, what's this? Well, let's see.
Erika's here. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having
bringing
me.
your crown.
Yes, the shiny, sparkly hat.
Beautiful. What else are you doing to prepare for the contest?
You know, a lot of people are preparing for your evening wear and your swimsuit, and then answering questions on stage and also in your interview. But to me, there's so much more preparing when it comes to being in the community and getting involved and meeting new people and really just being an ambassador for your state. That's what it's all about.
And we have some pictures of you doing some of your good work around the valley. Hopefully we can show them to you, but tell me about some of the stuff you're doing.
Well, right now I'm really making a conscious effort to focus on our military. To me, they're one of the main reasons why I have the freedom of being Miss Arizona USA, and it's an honor to represent my state at its 100th birthday, but I'm making sure that I'm doing things in the community, getting out and helping people. I'm really active actually with my nonprofit called Everyday Heroes Like You. We're entering our 5th year, so I started it when I was 17, so I've been able to travel to the Pentagon, I've been able to meet General Salazar, who's actually out here in Arizona, and I've also been able to donate a Johnny's Locker to the Sojourner Center, which you're looking at right now.
Wow.
So there's been a lot of things that have been going on, from working in the military.
She's talking about working in the military and going to the Pentagon over 13 years ago, and is on this, I guess, Fox News thing.
Traveling to just being able to get out there and
a lot of work,
support our state.
We're excited.
Oh, no, wait, it's NBC News. It looks like a local thing. My bad. The Chiron and shit looked the same for a minute.
To hear about this, and now we're going to be watching out for you in June.
Yes.
I mean, do I get to try your crown on?
Oh, please. It's all yours. Do you want me to crown?
Tram's over there going, no!
Do you want me to crown?
Yeah,
yes. Please. No! Wow. Perfect!
Yeah, do the way.
Yes.
All wrong.
It looks so great. It looks perfect.
You're too kind. This belongs on you. We'll give this back to you. Tram and Scott, back to you guys. Say we've got.
That's kind of wild. I haven't seen that one before. So, yep, quite interesting. But the thing about the Romanian charity gets very, very weird because of this whole thing. Erika Kirk ripped for featuring controversial pastor on Make Heaven Crowded tour. Very disturbing. So, yeah, Make Heaven Crowded. I made jokes about that, I think, yesterday, because, like, how are you going to achieve that? Yeah, so he is currently, Erika Kirk's latest project has received backlash over the feature of Pastor Greg Laurie, who is currently embroiled in allegations for very bad crimes with children. The widow of the late right-wing influencer Charlie Kirk launched her Make Heaven Crowded tour. Although Laurie and his church have since denied wrongdoing, Nietzsche's, I guess this was a Asian article or written. I don't know which countries call people Nietzsche's, but yeah, wasted no time in labeling his feature in the tour as disturbing and slamming the tour as a mockery of Charlie's legacy. Since taking over her, okay, so this just gets into her thing, but yeah, let's see if they have anything on this guy. Does they? If not, we'll find another article that does. Damn, they're really padding this one up with junk. Let's look up the guy. Pastor Greg Laurie. When Jesus gets in your boat, he's padding up. He's really pushing the allegations down to page 2, exactly. You could pay people to do that. Um, More lawsuits filed against Greg Laurie as Harvest Christian Fellowship for abuse in Romanian orphanage. Yep, there we go. Look at that. And this is from it seems to be a Christian site. So another group of plaintiffs, this time including 7 women, have filed lawsuits against California megachurch Harvest Christian Fellowship and its lead pastor, Greg Laurie, for abuse they claim to have suffered at the hands of Paul Havasgard. They join a group of 12 lawsuits filed previously by men who say that Havasgard hurt them at the children's home in Romania, supported by Christian Fellowship. Wow. I'm not sure if this is the same Romanian thing that she was running. It could be. Even if it isn't, it's still sketch. Like she knew that those allegations were out there. Like, that these people have like keep a close eye on things, or they have PR people who do. So she knew that people were saying the whole Romania thing. And to beat the allegation, she invites this guy who has actual charges from a Romanian charity on tour with her. Like, what? That's not going to help. Why are you what are you thinking? So he was managing a network of orphanages and foster homes known as Harvest Homes in Romania. Terrorized scores of that's crazy. Scores of Romanian children, including a plaintiff and his child, a child in his custody and care. Yeah, so this is pretty crazy. I would say that like what is going on? How is nobody saying anything about this? And then she was on stage saying that ICE protesters were demonic, and then introduces this guy to come up immediately after. Pretty crazy. So then there's this let me see. Well, yeah. Let me catch up on chat. Yeah, I don't know. He might be. He might be, Tate. Who knows? Just sorted out. Yeah, I mean, you never know. Yeah, so let's take a look at. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't want to. So yeah, he's got a lot of lawsuits against him from this Romania thing. Like, obviously something happened, and there's a lot of people alleging that something went down. And then this week, I think, is why a lot of stuff about there's two reasons why I think this thing surfaced today, or not today, but this week. And then there was another video of a Turning Point staffer getting fired. So in this video, she is with her ex-boyfriend, and she definitely seems like a very different person, but people change over time. It happens. It's not, you can't hold that against somebody. But when they take on this holier than thou thing, and she has lied about her past and stuff, and said that, she never dated before Charlie, which is like objectively untrue. There's like a social media history of it. And like, not that I don't think anybody should really care, because you should be able to have as many partners as you want. Who cares? But it's like, why are you lying about all this weird shit? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? It just seems a little bit strange. Let's take a look at this and see.
It's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
It started with the biggie.
Hi.
Good morning, America.
I've lived in China. I've lived in Chongqing. I've been to Romania. I've been to Croatia. Lived in Puerto Rico for a little bit. Really handsome.
You look gorgeous. Are you fixing my... Got a little bacon. Baby, that's deep in there. Give them a cleavage. People want cleavage. Showcase it.
Sex sells, babe.
Sex sells. That's me.
That's against religion.
That's ridiculous. She said that. That's so funny. And like, not like I would have any objection to that kind of discussion, but like, you know,
Within the confines of marriage.
I don't.
what?
We need.
What? We're checking the line? Oh, okay. I know we're checking the line. Roll camera one. Hi, I'm JT Massey. I'm 25 years old from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm a minor league baseball player with the Colorado Rockies, and I'm going to be racing with my girlfriend.
Hi, I'm Erika Kirk. I'm 25 years old from Scottsdale, Arizona, and I currently live in Venice, California.
So March 1st, we went on our first date.
Well, I got it wrong because I thought it was
Yes.
the day before, and I called him and I was like, hi, so I'm going to be running late for our date. And he's like, actually, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sitting at dinner with my dad in Arizona, and I'm like, did I mess up the date? Or
That is she does look like that woman from The Handmaid's Tale. That is eerie.
what?
And she is like playing that role now. And I do think it is probably playing a role, especially after this. It's like you want to obviously be in the entertainment industry and stuff. And yeah, I think she's definitely playing a role here. And I mean, there's a lot of people that do that. They just navigate through life trying to see what they can attach themselves to. I have definitely come across many people like that.
End up standing up from the table to call her, and she messed up the date.
I did. So we went to Maggiano's.
Yeah, it worked out.
It was good.
We went to Maggiano's. I picked her up. It was
No, this is one of those videos where they were trying to get on that show, The Amazing Race, where they the reality show. No, it isn't that. No.
raining.
It was.
Kind of different night in Arizona, and picked her up at her house, and later met her mom on the first night.
It's a big deal for the
Exciting
first
stuff.
night.
Yeah, I'm not trying to scare her off or anything.
But it was good.
It was great. Easy conversation.
And then we spent literally every single day with each other since then. And I couldn't go to his house that he was staying at because I wasn't allowed to, because the girl who was married to the guy he was living with was very territorial of her nest. So we had to brainstorm of different places to socialize and meet at.
Hang out.
So we would close out
time.
coffee shops and Chipotle.
Yeah, it's weird too, because like you don't even have to build a new persona for yourself. Like even on the right these days, it's very easy for somebody to just be like, "Oh, I was this way and now I'm one of y'all." And they really like boosting people like that. You know what I mean? Like the why I left the left people. So you know, she didn't need to construct this. It makes me think that there is a deeper reason, you know.
And we just brainstormed. We would do we did hiking together.
We hiked Camelback Mountain.
We did. That was fun.
Yeah, but just every day in March, a new adventure. We walked around that one parking lot all day. We were going to do some racing, and then we didn't. And then we just looked at artwork.
I know
But we'll just walk around a Walmart for like an hour, and we'll look down, and
we played football inside of Sports Authority.
We did. We passed football inside of Sports Authority before we almost got in trouble, but we got out of there. We got out of there pretty safe.
So we somehow always find a way to make the best out of any situation that we're in, because we like to have fun. Life's too short.
Like a long distance relationship, the travel and the communication required. It's like we went through a little test these first 5 months before.
Well, and not only that, like think about the time difference. Like I'm 2 hours behind.
I'm speeding it up.
So he doesn't get to sleep until like 2, and I go to bed at like midnight or sometimes even later. And then when we are here in Tulsa together, we don't go to bed the first night until like 3-ish because we stay up talking because it's like a slumber party.
Right, you're catching up with your best friend, and then she's on California time, and then it's usually like a late flight because she's finishing work, and so it's just we're used to crazy schedules because of our unique jobs anyway. So it's just
organized chaos. We cook a lot together and dance in the kitchen.
No, this is a minor league baseball player that she dated like 10 years ago. And they tried to get on a reality TV show together.
And he sings to me because he's an incredible singer.
I love music.
I love when I'm away, he serenades me. He'll send me videos.
Just a little something to tide her over.
I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing. 'Cause even when I dream of you, the sweetest dream will never do. I still miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing.
Doing like outdoor activities when we're together usually. So we went hiking in spring training when we first met. And then a lot of our time has been fishing when she comes in town because I'll have a day off every now and then. And we'll usually use that day to get outside and do something together, which
we play basketball pickup together, which I love.
Pick up at the Y.
It's my jam right there.
Yeah, she's on point guard. I tell her to pass it to me.
It is definitely like a different person than what's been constructed.
Every time, pretty much, because that's what it's about.
That's how I get my assists.
Right, because I'm going to take you to the rack.
Yeah, for sure.
But everything's been great this first 5 months, but it has been a short.
It is. That's why I had to speed it up, but I don't know if there's going to be like something else juicy towards the end. But if it gets like, if I get towards halfway through and it's yeah, I agree.
Period, and we know that. So I guess the conflicts could be just the fear of the unknown. We think we know each other pretty well, but I'm sure the strain and the different challenges that Amazing Race would bring out, you don't really know what to be prepared for. So that the fear of the unknown will be kind of a conflict.
Yeah. Like I've lived in China. I've lived in Chongqing.
Well, this
I've been
was
to
the
a
other part.
gypsy.
Yeah, flying around. So
called herself a gypsy.
Been going a lot in a lot of different ways to travel, from bus to train to a lot of airport time. And I know she's spent a lot of time
Not only disrespectful
with her job and with different things.
Gypsy.
Yeah, flying around.
Yeah,
but also,
but I think both of us have been to poor areas, so we understand
different personality.
Kind of how intense a different culture can be and how it can actually be, for lack of better terms, a culture shock. Especially like I've lived in China, I've lived in Chongqing, I've been to Romania, I've been to Croatia, lived in Puerto Rico for a little bit. So even though we haven't been dating long, there are some key things that are like the pillars of our.
Yeah, something up with this military background going all over the place and being involved with these weird charities.
Our relationship.
And I'm gonna pull up something in a minute where she was involved with one of Jeffrey's modeling things, apparently, too. So I didn't look too deep into it, but I saved the link.
One of them obviously being our faith, the other one being that we just have a borderless heart to help people and to give back. And you know, I have been to Romania and teamed up with the Marine Corps to open up and sustain an orphanage with 75 beautiful children. And that's called Romanian Angels through my nonprofit Everyday Heroes Like You. And I know JT has also done some nonprofit work as well.
Yeah, that's that Romania shit. Like, I don't know why she invited that guy on tour with her. Like, that is wild. She really ain't beating the allegations.
Yeah, I went to Kenya with a nonprofit organization called With Open Eyes, and we had the opportunity to do prison ministry, and we visited several.
Is that like a normal thing for rich people, or what's the deal with that?
Orphanages around the minor league baseball player. So athletically, any challenges involving.
I had to move back home to Arizona and finish at ASU just because I wanted to be in the state that I was.
Concerned. I live out about 2 bags for like 7 months.
You're talking all over the place. People will be like, the Amazing Race.
You could try to give directions.
I can try.
Right, you could try. You could try to give directions. I'm probably going to be doing
driving
and
I'm
directions.
not built with a super awkward.
No, you would. We're going to make fun of you if you make a team t-shirt.
We would definitely make
that's
fun
coming
of you.
down hard.
And we wouldn't even be afraid to make fun of you. We would probably make fun of you to your face too.
For sure.
Because whatever we say about them, behind their back, we would say to their face.
For sure, 100%.
All right, I think that one's cooked. I mean, it is interesting, the whole sex sells thing and the I'm a gypsy and the what was that she's been all over to all these places. Let's see. Erika interviewing to be a part of fashion brand linked to Epstein. Pitch work with Diane von Futzenberg, a modeling savant. I believe there were emails from that person, right?
Timing in my life is perfect for this opportunity. I'm at a great point, just career-wise, to be able to take on this type of endeavor. And I feel like I have something very unique to offer this whole experience in general. Like I said, I'm very coachable, I'm very trainable. And I'm the type of person that I don't need all the time in the world to get ready. If you say you got to be on a plane in a half hour and you have to pack your stuff and go, I'm on it. I'm kind of like a gypsy. I don't mind living out of a suitcase. I'm used to it.
That again, very weird.
That's something that I'm okay with. So traveling, I love it. I'm all for it. I'm up for anything. I want to learn. I want to be able to use this opportunity and harness all the things that I can learn from it and be able to just inspire people. Like, how cool of a chance it is to be able to work with Diane and her brand. And that's why I want to use this opportunity to inspire, to be able to make a difference and to work with Diane and a brand that does that, that empowers women, that shows that, you don't have to know everything about the fashion industry to make a difference. You can learn and you can create your own, your own experience out of it all. So I'm excited.
She got a word salad like halfway through this.
Really looking forward to this, and if I have the blessing, to make.
But yeah, you can see her talking about Diane. That is Diane von Furstenberg. Let's see. Let's see. I searched Diane van Furstenberg. It doesn't look like there's much info on her relationship with Epstein. But she also doesn't have like a, let's see, actually Epstein's Secrets. Here we go. She's in some of the files, at least. Let's see what the summary says. Is primarily mentioned in the context of hosting high-profile social events, specifically annual lunches at the Graydon Center with her at her home with her husband Barry Diller. While her name appears in 11 government documents, the connections to Epstein or his associates are not substantiated in these specific snippets. Well, we know that, there's at least interviews happening, and the fact that she knew Epstein through the Miss Arizona thing, I'm talking about Erika. Yeah, that's something. These social notes rather investigate document. Other mentions appear to be administrative. And see, this is 1% of the files. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I'm just checking up on chat. Yeah, the grift is wild. And it does reach far for sure. Everything always seems to connect together with a lot of these people. Let's see what's up with this one. Some of these aren't going to be in like a good narrative order because I've been collecting these for a while.
Greater love has no man than this, and to lay down his life for a friend. And as the Lord did for us, you do for each other.
Everything about her, from her, how easy she is to talk to how compassionate she is. Well, she's obviously strikingly beautiful, but very calm, very gentle.
Greater love has no man than this, and to lay.
I didn't notice anything. Did you all notice anything? I didn't notice anything there. Let's see what else we got. Why is this? See what we got here. Looks like the TPUSA donor who threatened Charlie Kirk was likely a very angry pro-Israel Laurie Cardoza Moore. She describes the very same incident as the text to Charlie on her TikTok. Mad about Tucker Carlson. She also spells GD the same way she does in her texts and posts. So this thing, we'll check it out, but this was always the side of things that I've been a little bit more skeptical on because like I think there could be something fishy with his death, but the Israel thing just seems so weird because he was not even like remotely the most anti-Israel right-wing person. Like, you would think that Tucker Carlson would be more of a target or something like that. Um, there were things going on behind the scenes where the Israeli donors were mad at him. And in that case, I would think the people around him have more of an incentive to take him out than even the Israelis would because he's fucking up the bag for them, you know? Um, so let's see. Oh shit. Hold on a minute. Let's see. This is that woman who was apparently the donor.
Carlson with his mocking voice and his mocking laughter. They were horrified by what they saw. I had 3 couples reach out to me who had been to the Turning Point USA conference. And this was in Tampa a couple weeks ago. They called me and said they were horrified by what they saw. Horrified. They saw Tucker Carlson get up and act like another crazy person, talking, condemning Israel, praising Qatar with his mocking voice and his mocking laughter. So Tucker gets up and speaks at this conference in Tampa, TPUSA, and right after him comes Michelle Bachmann. Michelle has 5 minutes to make an argument for why we have to stand with Israel to these young people at TUSA. When she starts talking in that conference about supporting Israel and why America should stand with Israel, the people in the audience start booing her. I spoke with her personally. She said 10% in the room got up and walked out on her. That is shameful. Then Charlie Kirk. This is his event. He's responsible for what people are saying and doing. Does he get up and condemn Tucker or correct Tucker for what he said about Israel and how dangerous Qatar is to us? No. Did Charlie get up and defend Michelle Bachmann? Did he condemn the people that got up and walked out on her, that booed her? Did he say why we stand with Israel, we support Israel? No, he didn't. That tells us everything we need to know.
Let's see these posts. Oh, this is all the proverbs she's sharing, Adam, I guess. 676. That was the date, June 7th. 75. Why she spell God like that? So be very careful. I don't know. Let's look deeper into it. I'm more inclined to think that the people around him are are his deepest enemies. Uh Whether he realized it or not. Let's see what else we got. There's so much weird shit I've collected about this. Some I don't know what's true and what's not. We'll have to dig through it and find out. What is this? FBI whistleblower just dropped the receipts. Charlie was gunned down in broad daylight. Oh, Cash Patel and Dan Bongino didn't rush to hunt the real killers. No, they huddled to script their Twitter strategy. Yeah, that's this story just recently came out, where leakers within the FBI shared this with journalists that Cash Patel and Dan Bongino were like obsessed with the Twitter strategy. Now, some people are talking about this in a like shallow sense of, all they care about is social media. But I think it kind of might go deeper with that than that is because, um, I think they really wanted to seize the moment there and use it as a real push for power, a push to uh, demonize anybody to the left of them or even anybody who opposes them because they call Thomas Massey a Democrat and a leftist and stuff. Um, they've kind of already done that to some extent, but I feel like they weren't as successful as they wanted to be with that whole thing. But yeah, that's a small detail that came out just recently, but I think it's pretty telling, you know. Well, it could be just that they're social media brained, but I think it goes deeper than that. So let's look at portfolio, I guess. I don't know why this one's super relevant, but I guess it just shows the background, you know? Let's see what else we got. Interviewing Dr. Ben Carson, talking psyops manipulation and American's first spy, Nathan Hale. CIA connections deepen. What unearthed 2015 video? What is going on here?
Faith, just how you said, and our country
Let me turn the volume up.
was founded on faith, just how you said, and also the American dream. And so often I find that we are so caught up on being politically correct, and I feel like that's made us a softer nation. I would like for you to just highlight on the fact of political correctness and what you think my generation prior and previous, what we can do to make us not seem so soft as a nation.
Well, your generation in particular has to understand that youth is no excuse for ignorance. And you go back and you look at people like Nathan Hale. He was a teenage spy for America, a rebel. When he was caught and ready to be executed, he says, "My only regret is I have but one life to give for my nation." Think about that versus what most young people think about today. And the fact that so many are ignorant of history makes them very easy fodder for those who wish to manipulate. And they come in and they say, "Oh, well, look at what's going on, and these people are racist, and these people are sexist, and these people are this and that." And of course, if you don't have any base of knowledge, then you just say, yeah, I'm mad about that. Yeah, exactly. And those manipulators take advantage of that. And I want our young people to recognize that they're smart. They got these big frontal lobes and the ability to analyze just like those rabble rousers do. And at the very least, they should be asking, pertinent questions.
I agree completely. Thank you.
You've touched on another that you started with, education. I love history, and I think that's what makes my belief in this country so strong. History, if you don't know it, you're doomed to repeat it.
Without question. And, when you look at American history, it is replete with inspirational stories. But when you look at the rewriting of it, for instance, if you were to look at the AP course in American history right now, you would be horrified. They spend most of the time talking about how awful America is, how we treated slaves and American Indians, and bombed the Japanese. And I mean, they barely 2 sentences about George Washington, very little, if anything, about Martin Luther King. And some of
Oh, so you think he faked it and he's still alive? Possible.
the great things that happen, they don't talk about that at all. Somebody
I mean, I think he's dead, but you never know.
could come out of one of those courses saying, wow, America's really horrible. I think I'll go fight for ISIS. I mean, really, I'm serious after you got through with that. And, you know, we need to expose a lot of this stuff. Parents need to get much more involved and know what kind of curriculum is being taught. We need to make demands. And people, most importantly, and, you know, my wife and I just finished a manuscript called One Vote. People need to vote intelligently. And I'm not just talking about the presidential election. I'm talking about school boards and local county officials.
I don't know if it's necessarily accurate to call that psyops. You know, I mean, it's just typical, like, you got to brainwash the children politician
things like
talk.
that. You need to know who these people are and what they're advocating. Because if you don't, you get what you deserve.
It is still weird, especially her being in this proximity to all these people at this time. I mean, maybe not so, because Charlie Kirk was being groomed to be a president at some point. But oh yeah, there was another one here. What was it?
Our country.
Bombshell. Lori's mom is a spy. Leaked it. Oh yeah, we looked at this, right? Yeah, we looked at that. Got quite a few more. Let's see. This was the video that was making its rounds this week, where a employee of Turning Point was fired for a suspicion of being a leaker. They were very concerned about leaks, apparently. So let's take a look and see what this is all about. Hopefully we can hear, but at least it's
I know, and I know best to be here, and
because there's like a hidden camera type shit, you know. Let's see.
I mean, I'm not really content leaving for the day without further documentation, explanation, anything.
I understand, but it's time to go. We're just gonna say today's the last day, and that's what we're gonna operate from.
And there's nothing else y'all are going to offer me or plan to offer me. No, I'll send you an email about offboarding instructions that essentially outlines rates that you did. So your business report, and then detailing the pay.
And you will receive your year-end bonus from your performance for the year, so that will be in that paycheck too.
Okay. So, I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to hear because of like hidden camera shit, but it is subtitled, so.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
No, and I know you're going to keep saying I understand. Like, I know that.
No, I know.
And I know there's probably no magic string of words that I could piece together to procure some type of answer, but I think on a surface level, like I'm not going to walk out of here until I say my piece. Like I mean, y'all know this. I just worked a series of 80, 90-hour weeks plus for AmFest.
Yeah, I think
I've had no direction or explanation since we've come back. Our CEO has been assassinated. I've done nothing but bend over backwards for this organization, and the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
It's not a prank. I would never do that.
So I'm just trying to understand. And
No, I understand. It's time to.
so do I get to have a conversation with Dylan? Do I get to have a conversation with Justin or anybody, or
Nope.
no? And there's no explanation as to why I'm gonna let go. Despite
Right now, we're leaving all.
and you're gonna keep saying a different direction, but I'm trying to understand how I've met multiple times with my.
We're going a different direction with the team, and I have to ask you to leave now.
You have to ask me to leave property?
Yes,
Due to what, Frank?
because we're asking you to leave because you've been terminated and we're not.
But there's no explanation or documentation.
Yeah, like I don't need. Can you do that? I guess you can. I mean, yeah. I mean, especially in the U.S., there's like.
For this, I've never had one bad review from Dylan. I've never had one issue with the company. I've never done anything unethical.
She could probably sue.
And so I'm sitting here understanding why my entire livelihood is being completely tossed out. I mean, I sat
No,
in this chair.
you're gonna do great things.
No, and
You're gonna do great things. What an asshole.
I don't think you're allowed to be tossed out. I think you're
Well,
very successful.
well, my paycheck every other week is being tossed out, Frank, with absolutely no warning whatsoever.
I understand. But at this time, it's time for you to.
It's time for me to go. Why? Like this is the treatment that Turning Point is offering now.
It's time we go.
Frank.
Yeah, so they're
this is
just given the basic, like, you need to go, you need to go.
I understand where you're coming from.
I don't think you do. This feels very heartless. This feels without emotion.
I do understand where you're coming
This feels completely without emotion.
from. I understand where you're coming from, but at this time I have to ask you.
Frank, I'm really not content doing that.
Okay.
Because I know that when I leave there, my credentials not going to get back in, and I'm never going to have the opportunity to speak with somebody at this company as to why I'm being terminated after never having my performance questioned, after never doing anything wrong, after working tirelessly through the death of Charlie. This is wild. And you can, like, that's completely unsatisfactory. And so I have to come home tonight with no plan, no understanding, asking for clarity multiple weeks in a row. And I'm confused. I sat in your office when that whole GC situation happened. And you said, and I quote, that if you don't get that job, I'm going to personally think that you got screwed over. And now I'm sitting here and I'm getting screwed over in a completely different capacity with no explanation.
Yep, I understand where you're coming from, but at this time,
So there's going to be.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the talent agency in the video that we were just watching that she was like applying for. Talking about a different one?
Absolutely no explanation as to why I'm terminated. So when I go to my next job, I can't explain as to why this chapter is closed.
we're going in different direction.
That's not an explanation, Frank.
It's the explanation we're providing now
Providing from who?
from the organization.
From who though? Justin, from Dylan,
From the organization. I only speak for the organization. And
So different direction means what? Losing people that bend their backwards for the organization, losing people.
So yeah, that apparently happened to like 40 different people, they're saying, at the company, which is pretty crazy. Oh yeah, this thing is wild. Apparently she has some doppelganger that had her exact name and looked just like her and was the first lady of Florida. Many knew Erika Kirk as the First Lady of Florida, the colorful Governor Claude R. Kirk Jr.'s Madam X, an international beauty and 50-plus year resident of Palm Beach County. Palm Beach County. That's interesting. Even more acclaimed, Erika was mom, Ami, volunteer, friend, and good neighbor to those who came into her life. Of course, this was Palm Beach County before, this before the 80s and 90s probably. But still. Let's see the video attached to this.
This is Erika Kirk. Another Erika Kirk. Same exact name, same exact spelling, both political wives, both married to outspoken Republicans. Current Erika is nicknamed Miss Arizona, and the first Erika,
what is this? What is going on?
Was nicknamed Madam X. People called the first Erika Kirk Madam X because they say she just kind of showed up out of nowhere. Both have
No.
striking blue eyes and blonde hair. They even do their eyeliner the same, and personally, I think they have the same face structure. The first Erika Kirk passed away now, but was from Palm Beach County, Florida, which raises another huge red flag. If you've been following my videos, you know why. I don't want to tell you guys what to think. I'm simply giving you the information. Do you think these are like all coincidences, or is there something else going on here? This is Erika Kirk.
What is that shit is wild. I don't even know. Like, let's look up more on this. Erika Kirk, First Lady of Florida. Because this shit is crazy. What is this? There's a 10-minute video on it. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe. We'll give it a minute or two. Because this is
okay. This will be a video about Erika Kirk and the incredibly strange, very intriguing mystery surrounding her. And when you hear Erika Kirk, you probably think of the Erika Kirk on the left there, who's everywhere. She was the wife and was even mentioned as a vice presidential and even a presidential candidate. And this is just insanely weird. There's no other way to put it, because as you can tell, they have the same name. They both look identical. There's definitely something very strange going on here. I'll kind of get into what I think is going on a little later in the video, but first wanted to tell the story of the 1960s and 70s Erika Kirk, because it's a real interesting story, and she was regarded as this real woman of mystery. So when Claude Kirk was elected governor of Florida in 1966, he was single. He was actually called the most eligible bachelor in Florida at the time. And when he had his inauguration ball in January of 1967, after he took office, he shocked all of Florida when he showed up to the ball with a woman. And this girl was just a total mystery. No one knew who she was. No one had ever seen her with Claude Kirk before. And when he introduced her to people, he just referred to her as Madam X. And there was just all these massive stories about who was this mysterious girl who was with Claude Kirk? Who was this Madam X? Everybody wanted to know who she was and where she came from. And the details of her life slowly started coming out. And the details are really interesting. So it turned out her name was Erika Matfeld, and she was born in Germany in 1934. And then she moved to Brazil. And before Claude Kirk, she was married to an actor named Carlos Dolabella. And she worked as some sort of model or actress, although she does.
No, I don't think I'm trying to prove anything. I just think it's weird as fuck. And like, it's just some glitch in the Matrix shit. I don't know.
Doesn't really have any credits to her name. There's kind of like a mystery about how she.
Yeah, like I don't think it's a like time traveler situation or anything, but is truly bizarre.
She ended up in Brazil and what she was doing there. I'll talk a bit about that later in the video. But anyway, she divorced this.
Although Candace Owens does think that Charlie Kirk was a time traveler now because he tried to flirt with her, saying that he like was delivered in time for her or something, and she didn't get it, and then thought he was an actual time traveler.
Actor and remained in Rio de Janeiro, and that was where she met Claude Kirk. And that was pretty much all that was revealed about her. She remained this real enigma, just kind of the talk of the state for a while. And then Claude Kirk announced that they were going to get married. If you can see the date on the newspaper there, it says January 8th, 1967, which is only about 3 days after he took office. So basically, he showed up to the inauguration ball with this mysterious woman, caused a big stir and a big commotion, and then announced he was marrying her. And the wedding happened a short while later. It was a really massive deal. President Nixon attended, and Erika Kirk was basically just this sensation in Florida.
I mean, I guess it's not a big deal that President Nixon attended. But is this Claude Kirk related to Charlie Kirk?
Well, Claude Kirk was governor. She was constantly talked about in the press. She really just kind of turned into a big celebrity, and she always kept sort of a low profile. And so there was a lot of mystery surrounding her and their relationship. There was all these articles about how she'd gone from working as a waitress in Germany to becoming the first lady of Florida. This article here kind of sums up what a lot of these articles that talked about her were like. It says, Erika Kirk radiates. Her emerald green eyes actually glow. When she smiles, which is almost always, they shimmer. And Claude Kirk himself was just a real celebrity too. He's described as just this larger than life type guy. He was totally flamboyant, very controversial, very, very outspoken. Here he is holding up a skinned chicken at a press conference. And he's always doing like really outlandish publicity stunt things like this. There was this huge feature on him in the New York Times after he was elected, and it described him as, quote, it says, as a person, Claude Kirk is a dizzying experience. As a governor, he is certainly the most bizarre happening in Florida's political history. Then it also describes him. It says he played governor the way Errol Flynn used to play Captain Blood. Charming, daring, somewhat arrogant, seldom going by the rules. This article that recapped his first year on the job described how he scuba dived to the bottom of the ocean and planted the Florida flag there. And then he also participated with police in a raid on a motorcycle gang's hangout. And even at one point,
It doesn't look like there's any record of them being related.
At highly. And anyway, Claude and Erika Kirk had a couple kids while they were in office, and she was just constantly talked about while Claude Kirk was governor. There are so many articles and features out there that were written about her. And he was always mentioned as a potential, presidential candidate or vice presidential candidate. And he actually tried to run for president in 1984, but was unsuccessful. And that was pretty much that. So there are just so many weird things going on in the 50s.
Right,
He definitely looks a lot like Charlie Kirk, like an older version of Charlie Kirk as well. And the fact that this 1960s Erika Kirk was a German who relocated to Brazil is very ethics going on there. They're described.
Yeah, I was just skipping through to see if this guy said anything about them being related. What the fucking human cloning now? Nah, I'm out, dude. I'm sorry. I mean, not that I don't think it exists. I just don't think it exists on that level yet. They're still experimenting with animals and shit. Let's see. Let's see what else we get. Let's see if we can get back to reality a little bit. What we got? This one was kind of weird, but there is a potential, like, she got these people are saying it's a brand like they had in Nexium. Now, this what somebody says, or is it a Bic lighter burn we all did as teens? Like, I mean, that is a potential, but it doesn't. It looks a little bit more intricate than that. You know what I mean? Um. Oh, maybe it's because she got tattoos removed. But yeah, see, that's like right there, that thing. It does look kind of familiar. It does look a lot like the Nexium thing. Look at that. Just a different. That shit's kind of weird. This one, like, again, is just reality being weird, I think. But she she auditioned as a, or no, she did a photo shoot as a sniper, which I think, like, right wing military people always be doing that homosexual shit. Yeah, no, I wasn't saying that she was in Nexium or anything like that. I think that's dead. I don't know what that symbol meant. If it was a symbol that was unique to Nexium or if it was something broader in that general community. You know what I mean? This is weird. And wait, what's this? You can't photo of Erika Fonze on a roof with a sniper rifle from the military assassination movie she starred in. What? Yeah, okay. I mean, reality can be weird. Reality is often weird sometimes. Along with Turning Point USA purchasing a 40 million life insurance policy. What? What? Which included Charlie Kirk or Erika Kirk. The below are other literal examples of TPUSA violating IRS rules for nonprofit. I don't know about that claim. The 40 million life insurance policy? I got to look that one up. They had 62 undisclosed contractors. Oh, okay. So this is just all the shady business shit they were doing over there, which is typical. $40 million. I'm not seeing anything about the $40 million. Wait. Take out the numbers, see if it works. Did not file 400 million. Well, what is the number? Oh, it's a satire origin. I thought it seemed a little bit too perfect, you know what I mean? So yeah, that guy was spreading some shit. Let's see what we got here. I don't know. I don't think that this is I don't understand what's going on here. Oh, okay. So these are people involved with Turning Point that are involved with the military. This is only a minute long, so
just so you guys can see what's going on, just so I can see what's going on here, because that screen's small for me. But I asked him, hey, do you have proof of this? He says, but it's worth saying Erika wasn't in some fort in Tucson. The internet's gone insane. She woke up next to Charlie on the 9th, went to the office with Charlie all day, woke him up from a nap before a fox hit, went to dinner with Charlie. Literally, people are lunatics. And then the next one I will show you guys that one, the continuation of this. Right here we have this one, and then I'll show you an up close picture with the metadata that we have on the screen itself.
I don't know why this
Proof,
is
she was with Pacific time. Supposed to share that, but anyways,
probably one of those random claims that were made. But what's this a Romanian thing down here? Romanian link Kurt Colve or Colvet in 2023 photo with Romanian counterparts. Experienced leaders aid Carson City's MPs in Romania. Erika Kirk, Romanians angel charities. Ties to the same country. Erika worked with Dan Flood's CK security head on it. Did she know about Andrew pre-Charlie via these networks? Robert Cove video talking for joint force training confirms military depth. Let's see here. Okay, so it looks like we're starting to get to the end of here of the stuff that I had. Let's see. Yeah, that one we already looked through. That fucking ridiculous shit. This one, this is more about the military connections of everybody related. And apparently this guy that everybody said was doing hand signals and stuff is, let's see, military intelligence family of Dan Flood, hand signals guy from the Charlie Kirk assassination. The Turning Point USA director of security revealed shout out to some very shady connections here. Charlie Kirk was surrounded by military intelligence and their assets. I mean, family.
Let's review back on Candace's show Monday, and to add to her findings on
I don't know about that. Let's see.
on Candace's show Monday, they seem to be great friends.
I don't know about.
This is one of his profile
Take that shit with a grain of salt.
pictures. One of his commenters asks, "Interesting, please explain." He responds, "U.S. Army Military Intelligence Branch Mind Dagger of Compass, Rows of Secrecy, and..."
Well, I think that this is actually legit. Their military connections and shit. That makes sense. Well, and yeah, this is not related to this, but this was an interesting thing here where a former Navy intelligence specialist says podcasters are being blackmailed through web search history to push government narratives or risk major legal or reputational repercussions. This is why you just got to let your freak flag fly. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be like, yeah, I be watching all the porn. Check it out. And then nobody can get you.
Or whatever word you want to use. They're not like walking around on their off time, just pulling out their secret CIA ID card and badging into the main building. That's not what happens. Even if you go back to Project Mockingbird, they're just getting some talking points in a letter every once in a while. They're just saying, oh, you know what? Don't have this guy on your show, or don't allow this to be spoken about on your show. Or if they talk about this, you're going to cut it out. There's simple things like that. Some very basic instructions. And the way that somebody like a Gen Z person might get recruited is, let's just use you as an example. Somebody comes up and says, hey, man, I love your podcast, yada, yada. They're in a restaurant, a bar, whatever. And they say, I have a serious question for you, though. Are you a patriot? Would you consider yourself a patriot? Now I've got you locked into identity, right? And then I say, well, I have an offer for you. But before I show you anything, I just want you to say, yes or no, would you be willing to entertain the offer and look at what I have? And it might be uncomfortable. Would you be willing to look at it?
Sure.
Yep. Stage one is I show you all of your browsing history, captures from your webcams on all of your phones and computers of you doing the most compromising shit you could ever possibly imagine. Every bad thing you've ever done recorded in some way. And I'd say, I like your podcast. I think you're doing a great job and I want to protect you. and I want to keep all this from the public eye. But we also want to give you $20,000 a month. So now you feel like you chose all of this. So you walk away not feeling like I shoved this in your face. I told you it was going to be stressful, and you agreed to it. And you agreed that you're a patriot and all the other agreements. And now if you say yes, the reason that you're doing this on your podcast is for your country, because you're not going to call yourself compromised. We have this thing called cognitive dissonance that keeps our brain from thinking I'm a bad person. So now, even though you're being asked to silence people, not have certain people on the show, leave something out of your podcast, you're telling yourself, and whoever's your handler is telling you, this is for the greater good. And you kept the Americans safe by doing that. And you'll tell yourself that, and you'll feel good about it. So when a person is like in this situation, they will feel good about what they're doing. Even if it feels a little off in the back of their mind, they'll still feel like at the end of the day, I'm doing the right thing.
This shit happens all the time. And it isn't always the government either. Like, a lot of times it's people in the network that these people are connected with, that these influencers are connected with and stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's the key to it, is just not being ashamed of the shit that you do. That's exactly. But, you know, when you are in a position where you have any kind of power, even if it isn't a lot of power, you know, even the doorman at a club, you know what I mean? Or something like that is enough power for people to get weird around you, you know? And then when you get a little bit more power, even locally, or notoriety, people will try to connect themselves to you, and you will think that they are your friends, and they will not, they could not care to see you dead or alive. You know what I mean? They just want access to whatever you have, whether it is money or proximity to power or fame or even local notoriety. And I have seen this happen on so many levels, even interpersonally. That's why with the Charlie Kirk thing, you know, I think it's very possible that it was Tyler Robinson, but there's a lot of weird shit with it. You know what I mean? And I feel that the people around Charlie Kirk did not mean him well. They did not have good wishes for him. I think most of them. And there's this situation that I experienced a couple years ago. I have to do a lot of things to make ends meet. You know what I mean? One of those things is ghostwriting. I have been a ghostwriter for many years, in addition to the so yeah, that guy that just talked is let's see, former Navy intelligence specialist. Let's see what his name is. I wish they put his name on here. The guy is Chase Hughes, a retired U.S. Navy intelligence specialist. All right, cool. Thanks for, I wanted to make sure that detail was correct. So anyway, I do a lot of ghostwriting and stuff. And one of the ghostwriting gigs I got a while ago was for this crypto influencer. And even though I can't stand that fucking culture, and you know, especially what it's become these days, I knew a lot about it on a technological level from back in the day where you bought weed on the internet with it. So I know a lot of the tech stuff. So I wrote this book for this pretty well-known crypto influencer named BitBoy. That's what he used to go by. And he was like a multimillionaire, and he had this massive business that he had built in Atlanta. After, you know, going viral, he had like over 1 million followers. And he had this thing going for a year, this business that was very successful. He was doing YouTube shit every day. I think he employed like 20, 30 people. And you know, he let one of the people that connected themselves to him in his orbit become the CEO, and he let other of the people that he met be on his board, you know? And they had through the years stole millions of dollars from his company, did scams on people, and then kind of like blamed it on him because he was the guy in front of the camera. And they had also been spying on him constantly. They had like air tags and stuff on his shit. They had like some kind of audio surveillance on him. And he was y- they were based in like Atlanta, so down south, so they were all like very Christian and stuff. So, you know, he's not the kind of person that could be letting his freak flag fly, like I was saying earlier. So you, if you have any kind of secrets, then it's gonna cause problems. So because of their spying, they found out that he was having an affair, and they had this like gangster guy that they had brought into the business to like be friends with him and be his driver and stuff, who was eavesdropping on everything the whole time. And they ended up like forcing him out of his business. They were threatening to kill him and stuff like that. And they ended up like driving him completely crazy. And he ended up going to jail for a little bit, and I haven't seen him active on his channel in like many years. They stole his channel away from him that had like a million followers, said that he was on drugs and having an affair. And they tried to blackmail him at first. They said, "We're going to tell the world this if you don't like get in line and be our little you know, um our little presenter, our little cash cow, and continue to make us money." And because they didn't like certain decisions that he was making in the business, and he was trying to be more independent and stuff. So they, you know, they pulled that shit on him. And that was crazy to witness. Like I'm not down there, you know what I mean? I just dealt with him remotely, and I interviewed him at like I visited down there to interview him one time, and I met up with him at a couple different conferences to interview him about you know, yeah, one of the things that they did to extract information from him is they had like this faith group of other, you know, like business people, and like some, you know, guy that he was confiding in was telling his company all this shit. So, and that like the New York Times wrote an article about that and shit. And it was pretty wild. Um, it and the thing, I wrote a book I wrote 2 books for him, and then I wrote a forward for his third one that he got AI to write. And I think like that he got AI psychosis while he was writing it, because he was asking it questions about everybody else that was like left in his life if they were plotting on him too, and it was like telling him, yeah, yeah, all the things that you think are bad are correct. And I think that ended up sending them off a little bit. But yeah, that is I don't think I've really talked publicly about that much before. I wrote my feelings about what happened to him in the forward of his book that he put out. But yeah. And then the other 2 I wrote for him, he gave me credit and stuff in them. But yeah, he never got paid from them books because they took the money from the publisher, but I got paid up front. It was a crazy situation. Very, very crazy situation. Um, yeah. And even myself, when I was in the music industry many, many years ago, I, you know, I didn't have that much power. I was throwing parties in a couple different cities and stuff, and I was well known in that scene, but like, you know, and of course, like I was selling pills and like e-pills and acid and stuff at the time because I was throwing raves. You know what I mean? I wrote a book about it. And there were people that would hold that against me. Like anybody in my inner circle that would ever like, get mad at me because I wasn't doing exactly what they wanted, they would be like, oh, well, I'm going to call the cops, you know what I mean? Or pull some shit like that. And there was one guy that when I said that I was going to quit selling because I wrote my first book and I was getting ready to publish my first book, and I was saying a lot of things in there, like about the government being bad and about how drugs should be legal. And I was like, I'm going to be putting a target on my back when I release this book, and I need to stop like hustling and shit. And it's going to be dangerous for me. And I was making money for this guy and he didn't like it. So he dosed me with like a 10 strip and then like fucking had me out in the woods and was like, I know all your secrets, man. I know everything about you. And he's like, I'll ruin you and all this shit. And, I mean, like I said, I live my freak fly fly. I don't care. So there was nothing that, yeah, I wrote about this in my book in the chapter called Rites of Passage. It's like 20 something. It was a pretty fucked up situation. And I was messed up in the head with it for years. Like I used to like, trip on a regular basis. Like I hardly ever trip anymore. And when I do, it's not around people because of that shit. And that was just, people in my orbit because I had a very small bit of like power that they could get something out of, or that they thought they could. And they cared more about controlling me than being my friend. And that kind of shit happens all the time when you get to even a small level. And most of the people that I know that are like influencers and stuff like that have experienced some level of this. So it doesn't need to be a government plot always. It can be like people, sometimes it is, but the people in your orbit that are actually your enemies that you think are your friends. And I think that Charlie had a lot of them, and he probably deserved to, if we're being real. But yeah, I definitely wanted to share that because when I was seeing all this stuff happen with Charlie Kirk and the accusations, I just kept on thinking back to the BitBoy thing that I lived through, and that what those people at his company that he made all this money for them, what they did. And he wasn't like a shit boss. I visited there a couple times and he was like super chill with people. So yeah, it's a wild situation. Let's do some I'll stick around for a little bit and look through some ice stuff. Let's see if y'all want to hang around. Yeah, exactly, he was. Let's see. Yeah, Minneapolis was lit today. Probably millions of people. I mean, I don't know what the population is there, but
Listen to your marshals, the people in the high vest.
oh, and this Ken Klippenstein, he's got a new article out saying, remember that shit that we've been saying about how they're building a database with all the pictures that they take of the activists? Well, they're saying that not only that, you're a domestic terrorist if you're on the list. So what does that mean? Like you're on a like no-fly list and shit if you film ice, which is your right to do. That shit's pretty crazy. Let's see. Let's see what the article says. The Department of Homeland Security has ordered immigration officials to gather identifying information about anyone filming them and to send that information to Intel, who will do a workup on them. A federal law enforcement officer official directly involved tells me, meaning trying to identify them via social media, running their license plate if available, and running a criminal history check. The directive is part of a sweeping nationwide effort by U.S. immigration authorities to identify one and everyone trying to film their conduct. This includes not just ICE, but other Department of Homeland Security agencies like Border Patrol as well. The ultimate goal is to create a list of anti-ICE protesters, which the Trump administration believes are a part of organized network of domestic terrorists. Yeah, they're just calling any activist or anybody who even films them a domestic terrorist. That's insane. A loose-lipped ICE agent in Portland, Maine, publicly hinted at the effort in an exchange Friday that was captured on video. The video shows the ICE agent taking pictures of the car belonging to a woman who had been recording him, prompting her to ask why. The ICE agent replies, "Because we have a nice little database, and now you're considered a domestic terrorist. So have fun with that." Yeah, like what are the?
It's not illegal to record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Why are you taking my information down?
Because we have a nice little database.
Oh, good.
And now you're considered a domestic terrorist. So
We're videotaping you? Are you crazy?
In addition to what my own sources at DHS are telling me, David Beer, director of immigration studies at the Cato Institute, published a report last month pulling together reams of incidents similar to the one in Portland. The report concludes that DHS has a formal policy of intimidating people trying to film them on the dubious legal grounds that doing so amounts to impeding federal enforcement. DHS has a systemic policy of threatening people who follow ICE or DHS agents to record their activities. But the policy goes further than just deterring people from filming ICE. As my source explained to me, the Department of Homeland Security is moving to collect intelligence on and watch list protesters. When asked about the purpose of the policy, Beer told me that the information is being fed into databases for possible future law enforcement action. ICE agents film arrests both to feed DHS social media blitz and to identify them. This is sketch. Possible future law enforcement action. They just going to come by and get everybody on the list, or what's going on here? They upload information to their databases and see if they have outstanding warrants or are here illegally. Oh, okay. I mean, that's the excuse, but the practice can also be seen in the killing of Renee Good in Minneapolis earlier this month. Video of the incident show ICE agents Jonathan Ross holding up a phone and filming Good in her vehicle shortly before the shooting. There was a lot of confusion about why he was filming, with the social media abuzz with speculation that it was publicity related. The agent, it turns out, was likely gathering intelligence to map out the supposed domestic terrorist network to which Trump administration officials would almost immediately assert that Good belonged. The domestic act of terrorism was to use your vehicle to try to kill okay, yeah, all that bullshit. Wow. That's crazy. Let me catch up on the chat here. Yeah, exactly. The January 6ers are the ICE people. It means we lose habeas corpus. I've been contacting my local senators in an attempt to chilling free speech, no doubt. I have greater community impact. Yeah, it is. It does seem like that's the situation. They are definitely tracking people through the flock cameras for sure. Yeah, they are checking people's phones as well. And there have been cases I saw on another post where, let's see. Yeah, I mean the anti-cancel culture people have always been the original cancelers. You know what I mean? It's like, cancel you for having tattoos, cancel you for having too much fun. Congress voted to ban DHS from detaining U.S. citizens. Then Republican leadership moved that protection from the final funding of the bill. If so, why? Apparently, the Senate might reject it. Who knows?
the people that
We got more cops getting arrested too. Apparently, this was a recruit that was legal, vetted by the cops, and was detained. Let's see what's up here.
In the movie do not line up. What I heard from Tom Holman almost a year ago, that we're going to remove the criminals off the street, that I've been pretty vocal about the fact that ICE does have a job to do, and that is to get the criminals off the street. The people that, much like the people that commit crimes that look like us, we don't want in our neighborhoods. I was all set with that. But in this particular case, this is an individual that had permission to be working in the state of Maine. We vetted him. He took the extra step of risking his job to fly to Texas to take care of hearings. And for some reason, he was picked up last. The book and the movie do not.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I don't know what this
was
this
doing
is
was
a,
he was taking pictures of people and saying he was going to send ICE to their houses. And that's why people are so angry about him. He was taking pictures of people and saying he was going to send ICE to their houses whenever they disagreed with him. That's why they want him out of here. They didn't make the same kind of statements for the other gentleman who spoke in favor of this. But they have a problem with him because he made numerous threats.
this guy, I guess. This is Hernando Ace, who was threatening to take pictures of people and send ICE to their house. The people who are yelling at me are the real fascists. Fucking. We're really like, you know, and the Nazis were marching and I guess ICE gave them the day off. And people were playing clown music.
Do you think white people are buried it up?
And look, it's like the same costume and everything. Like, how on the nose is it?
Where the fuck did you get that? This is the definition of white privilege. A white guy saying that white people are the most hated people in the world. Hey, white people, we're not the most hated. That's You're the general. I'm the general. I can't hear what you're saying. Take off your mask. Huh? Why are you walking away?
Yeah, I mean, people in other countries can recognize that something really fucked up is happening here. You know what I mean? This is another child, 2-year-old girl in South Minneapolis. They put her on a commercial flight out of Minnesota despite a judge ordering the toddler's release. Judges say they were asylum seekers stopped without a warrant with no removal order. Agents allegedly used chemical irritants and flashbangs as they detained her. The court order was signed at 8:10 p.m. By 8:30 p.m., they were already airborne to Texas. What the hell is going on? This was the other thing that we were talking about a little bit earlier, that they're now following white people after grocery store runs in Minnesota, suspecting they're delivering food to neighbors who are terrified to leave their homes. Neighborhoods' instructions are, don't put the address in your phone, don't use GPS, write it on paper. And if you get stopped, eat it. Yeah, that was the thing we were talking about. Don't use your, you know, about how they're checking phones. I'm fucking more people up. Damn, bro, they're just like point blank at people's faces with that shit. You probably saw the one where they had the people down on the ground and were like spraying in their face. This shit is so chaotic, man. That might have been the one where they sprayed him while he was. Nah, that's a different guy. Oh yeah, TikTok is now officially owned by I guess Larry Ellison. So they're, entirely changing the terms of service. Tracks your citizenship and immigration status, religious beliefs, mental and physical health diagnosis, your race, if you're trans or non-binary, sexual preference and orientation. And of course, probably are heavily throttling any kind of anti-war stuff or any kind of ICE stuff. This is some of the pictures from today. There were so many people. I'll probably let's check that out for a minute, actually. Yeah, so there was a general strike that's been called for and is apparently happening across 200 cities. I'm not sure of the exact time frame or what's going on with that. I saw some things are a couple of weeks away. This was, of course, a localized general strike in Minnesota. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Damn, yo. And there's probably many streets. I think there's like all these people converging onto the same place. Yeah, like look at this. I haven't even seen much about this. Like I've seen people sharing online, but I also haven't checked like the mainstream stuff yet. Yeah, that's a ton of people. So yeah, look, this is saying general strike, but this is for sanitation workers. I'm sure like more info on it'll turn up. Nationwide strike, no ICE, release all the files. Yep. Yeah, so it's a citywide general strike. And I guess there's like multiple citywide general strikes that are going to be happening. That might be how it's working. Um, I'll have to do some more research and maybe update y'all in a future broadcast as it's coming. But yeah, that's definitely a good effort. I'm all about that. But yeah, I think that is probably all I got today. Definitely appreciate y'all joining. Let me check up on the chat, see if there's anything else. Yeah, 30K. Yeah, I was probably way overstating when I said a million. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, tens of thousands for sure. But yeah, I have been working on that new video. I'm having so much fun video editing. I should have started this so much longer ago. But there's no time like the present. But I'm just like I get through it and I get excited to work on the next one because I get another idea. So I'm doing the one about the drug trade and how the CIA was involved in it now, and I'm like maybe 10 minutes into it. I have the script entirely done, but like 10 minutes into the video editing. And the next one I think I'm gonna do about Immortal Technique, the rapper, because he was very influential to me and like getting me involved in activism. And yeah, and I think it would be cool to like go through some of his lyrics and the stuff that like I ended up the rabbit holes of research that it put me through when I was younger. I already kind of have a script ready for that, so I just got to do the editing. Um, but yeah, it was interesting. It was I think a lighter topic tonight than usual. You know what I mean? Because you know yeah, I'm looking forward to putting out these videos. It's fun. I love writing. I've always loved writing, but this also involves writing. I get to write the script and then I get to do all this cool visual shit with it. So I dig it. But yeah, thanks for joining me on a Friday. I hope that y'all have a great weekend, and I'll be back on tomorrow at 10 anyway. So I will catch y'all then. Peace.